So we sit here and we look around at everything that's going on. You know, this process has been pretty amazing. But we do still have work to do. I mean, you look around, you see we got a couple of different speakers, we got wires, we got all kinds of stuff going on out here. But you know what? This has been an amazing journey. When you sit back and you realize what Spirit can do, it's been miraculous to me. You are looking at a miracle. So many, they're countless, that have happened in order to make this thing take place. This whole thing has happened over the last couple of years. It's been incredible. It leaves me in awe as I watch Spirit, God's hand in all of it. Simply amazing. Backed up by a lot of hard work, by a lot of people. That is for sure. Every single one of us did this with God. It all came together. And this is the other bookend that I was talking about last week when I was talking about the two bookends. The bookend that ended the other church, as we said goodbye to that, and then this bookend. We have the two bookends finally coming together. And speaking of, how many people that were here last week actually did your homework? I just want to check. I gave you guys homework. Who did it? And the homework was, honestly, just to let go, bless the church, but then, and this is the part that's so critically important, what are we doing here? Or better yet, what are we going to do here? That's the question and the homework that I left everybody with, because this is going to be our creation. It's going to be what we build. It's going to be what we decide it's going to be with God, of course. But I wanted everybody to understand that they are going to be a part. Your consciousness is going to be a part of building whatever this is. You can't sit on the sidelines anymore, folks. That's not the way that it works. We don't just sit back and let somebody else take care of it. That's not the way that we build this. The way that we build it is we recognize, hey, I'm a part of this. My consciousness, I'm a divine creator. My consciousness is going to help create this thing. And then guess what we do? We go create it. What is it that we decide that we want to do? Now, I can sit up there and draw a bunch of pictures, and yeah, I do have a lot of thoughts in terms of what I want to do. In my heart and soul, I want people to come here and heal. I want people to come here and experience their divinity. I want people to come here and experience God. And then go out and share that. And that can look like a lot of different things for a lot of different people, right? And so I just want to have a lot of different avenues. I don't care what your background is. I don't even care what your belief system is for the most part. But I'm assuming if you come into unity, there's something inside of your heart that's tapping you on the shoulder that's saying, hey, there's something going on inside of me, and I'm kind of wanting to tap into that and figure it out and go play with it. Again, don't forget the fun part, because that's what it is. We lose that now and then. We get so wrapped up into the seriousness of all this stuff. It's like, no, laugh, smile, have fun. That's what we're doing here. But we also get to create something that could be absolutely amazing, absolutely fantastic. And help our community, help the city, help the state, help this country, help this world. Because in my opinion, in case you haven't noticed, we're needed more now than ever. How many people kind of get that idea? Yeah. It's we're all hanging out here. We're watching what's going on out there. Well, what can we do? Actually, you can do a lot. Actually, you can do a lot. Through your own thoughts, through your own ideas, through your own prayers, you can do a lot. You can do a lot in your own life. You can do a lot consciously in a group. And you can also help in the bigger picture. And so as we move forward, I really just wanted to pause for a moment and honestly just thank God. You know, it's been an amazing journey these past several months. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Noah when he was building the ark. You know, Noah's hanging out, and God comes down and says, hey, by the way, Noah, yeah, I need you to build an ark. Excuse me? Yeah, I need you to build an ark. Okay, and what's an ark and why am I building it? Don't worry about it, just go build the ark, right? And I can just see Noah sitting there going, are you, seriously? And then he starts to build it, right? Kind of like what we did here. Like, I can't tell you exactly what the moment was, but from my perspective of seeing what happened, how this all came together is mind-blowing. We start getting offers on the church in Ada over time. Chuck and I happened to be on a call during a regional conference meeting, and we start having a talk. We go have lunch. We talk about, hey, what an idea, what a thought. Maybe we could start talking about bringing these two congregations together. We start having those conversations. We start thinking possibility. What is the possibility of it? And then all of a sudden, it started going, and this energy started to go. And as I watched every single thing happen, way too many things to mention up here this morning, all I can tell you is it was miraculous. The timing on it was mind-blowing. As I sat there and watched Ada get ready to be sold, us starting to talk to Walker, this building showing up. You got to understand, folks, we had been looking for a building for a year and a half. There was nothing available. Ray and Bill were looking every single day to see, hey, is there something out there for us? Guess what? Nothing. Every single day for a year and a half, nothing within our budget, even close to our budget. And guess what? All of a sudden, in the midst of all of it, this building happens to show up. And, by the way, at the time, it was under contract. Yeah, that's right. It was under contract. Somebody else was buying this building. And then, as fate may have it, all of a sudden, that collapses, and the next thing you know, we're doing things. But then there's so many more things. There's the conversations we had with the township. There's conversations we had, there's so much. And the only thing I could keep thinking about is, wow, number one, thank you, God. But number two, thank you. Every single person that was a part of this process, mind-blowing. And I almost don't even want to start saying names for the fear of missing out, but I'm going to tell you that everybody in here went way above and beyond. Think about it. You're selling one church that has a 30-year history and emptying all the stuff in it, and you're moving all the stuff out of it. The other church has a 60, 70-year history, and you're starting to move everything in it or out of it, coming over here. You're combining congregations. And sometimes we did it really good. And guess what? Sometimes, But it's a process. It's a process. It's an amazing process from where I sit. It's almost like I feel like I'm so proud of what we have done here, each and every one of us, in terms of making this happen. Even from Dan being here last night until 2 o'clock in the morning. And that wasn't the only day he put in a lot of hard work and a lot of hours. Yeah, no doubt. Give him a hand. Thank you, Dan. But you know, the truth is, I could sit here and I could point to almost everybody in here that did all this work. It's simply miraculous. From the landscaping, to the renovation, to the sound, to. It's endless. And that's why I just really want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart to make this happen. And yes, both the boards coming together, everybody. That's what I'm saying. There's so many of you that have done so many things, and I'm just incredibly grateful. I'm thankful for the boards. I'm thankful for the congregations. I'm thankful to the township. I'm thankful to everything. And it's like these two locations have come together. And to the best of their ability, what have we done? We decided to share this message that the Fillmore shared. which in my opinion is one of the greatest messages of all. And when you really boil it down, it's really what Jesus was talking about. And the heart of it is simple. You're divine. And you're a unique expression of the divine, each and every one of you. And that expression called you is important. Yeah, it's important that you matter, that you're needed more now than ever, and that you are loved. And you're not loved because of what you did or didn't do. It's because of who you are. That's it. That you have the power to change. You have the power to heal. You have the power to transform any part of your life that you want to. You can really do that. And guess what? We don't have to use shame. We don't have to use blame. We don't have to use guilt. You can do it without those things. You can do it genuinely with love. We don't need that stuff anymore. We don't. We can grow without them perfectly, beautifully, incredibly, powerfully can be done without that. And as long as we're willing to do our part, and yes, this isn't a spectator sport, you actually have to engage. You can't just sit on the sideline and go, help. That's a good start, but there's so much more, because when you really start to get into your own spiritual growth and development, what you understand is, yeah, you got to roll up your sleeves, right? You got to roll up your sleeves a little bit. Because you realize that with God, anything is possible. Anything is possible with God. Anything. And that when we come together, it just makes it better. It makes it stronger. And we're able to do far greater things. Not only in our own lives, but then we get to go out into the community and help those that are in need. And I don't know about you, but all of that sounds like a lot of fun. It inspires me. It inspires me to sit back and think, you mean I can do my little part, and each of your parts are a little bit different, and yet it is so incredibly needed. I'm going to sit there and remind you time and time and time again, your little piece in this process is incredibly needed. Don't ever think that it's not needed. You are needed. We need you. Right? Because each and every one of you is a masterpiece. Each and every one of you is so special and so amazing. And yet, for some reason, at times, me included, I don't think don't do that. Don't shine that brightly. Don't show up, Mike. Because there's that human part of me that's afraid at times. There's that human part of me that doesn't understand at times. There's that human part of me that gets confused at times. And then I take a deep breath. And then I connect. And then I use all the spiritual principles and practices that the Fillmores taught, and others. Yes, there are others. Right? And what do? I calm down, and I come back right in here. And I get back into my heart. Why? Because that's where everything that I need is. It all comes back to your heart. It all comes back to your divinity. It all comes back to God. It all comes back to each other. And that's what it's all about. And that can look so many different ways for each and every one of us. And so I'm excited. I'm excited in this moment of possibility. And I hope that leaving today, when you look around this space, you just take a moment and realize everything that's been done. Everything that we've done together has been absolutely spectacular. It has been just amazing. So much fun. And I stand here in front of you as somebody who's just surrendering the whole thing over to Spirit. Because while Mike has his thoughts and ideas on what this thing is supposed to look like, I understand there's my plan, and I also understand that there's the plan. And I think that's one of the things when you start getting out there and you start moving energy and you start creating stuff, is to understand that you're not doing it alone. None of us are doing this alone. None of us. There's always that deep-hearted peace, the divine that's within each and every one of us that's there. Every single step of the way, even when we don't remember, even when we forget. It's okay. It's okay. So, having said that, are you ready? Are you ready for an amazing ride? Are you ready to see what it is that we are meant to do and to be led by Spirit to see what we're here to create? I think it can be pretty spectacular. I think it can be pretty amazing. I think that we got a pretty good crew here. And I think each and every one of you has something amazing that we can add to this whole thing to make a difference in this world. And when I think about that, I think, how cool is that? How cool. Thank you for coming here this morning. Thank you for being here. There's so much more that I want to share, that I want to do, that I want to experience. So much more, because I think there's so many expressions that can be shared. So, more homework. My question is, what is your gift going to be? What is it that you would love to share? Do you love poetry? Would you like to come up here and read a poem? Would you like to come up here and sing a song? Would you like to come up here and talk about something that you're passionate about? Would you like to work with the children downstairs? What would you like to do? There's still that spark. As long as you're doing what it is that you feel like you need to be doing, keep doing it. But there's always that spark within us. It never goes away, ever. But you got to listen. You got to listen. So, thanks again for coming here. Thank you for all that you've done, each and every one of you. Thank you for everything that we've done, and thank you for everything that we're going to do. I am a very, very lucky guy, and I know that because I have you, each and every one of you in my life. Thank you. Not enough words to say that as much as I want to, but just know that I mean it. I am incredibly grateful to be here. I'm incredibly happy to be doing what I'm doing. It's mind-blowing. God bless. Thank you.